BV and Jellified, Jimmy Beam and Bly, reaching highest where we reach, yo, as high as to the stars. Beats in the villain Jeep, vibrating other cars. Whose world is this? Yo, we say the world is ours. So we grow beards, no fear, photos so clear. Take another shot, so to speak, yeah, more beer. BV worldwide with a fist to the sky. Cheers, cheers, new year's, dope rhyme, good vibes. My crew speaks power, Chi-Town bleeds power. Knowledge, wisdom, and truth in the final hour. Respect, loyalty, family, charity speaks power. Here the village brotherhood speaks honor. Forwards and onwards, stay villain to the end. I will never shave again because my beard is not a trend. I represent excellence, leadership, and never follow. I'm a BBC member, yo, lieutenant of Chicago.
One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay villain. One brotherhood, one ship. Stay bearded, stay villain. It's BV, it's BV, BV, it's BV, it's BV, it's BV, it's BV, it's BV. Yo, all I see.
Hello and welcome to episode 43 of The Heart of a Villain, the podcast and live stream devoted to the bearded villains worldwide brotherhood and the lives they are changing all over the world. Guys, it's Friday night and you are here with me, and I'm really proud, really honored, and happy to see you guys here. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you are a first-time viewer, thanks for being here. If you're on YouTube right now, get out there, click and like, subscribe, do all that good stuff so that you get all of the notifications when this podcast goes live or when I put out any kind of extra videos and all that good stuff. If you are listening on a normal podcast platform after the fact, again, thank you so much for being here and following the podcast. As I said, this is episode 43, and we're coming up on 50 very quickly now. It's kind of, you can kind of see that light, and I'm really excited about that. We hit a big mark several episodes ago when we hit like 10 or even 15, because statistically speaking, they say that most small podcasts will dribble off and fall to the wayside before episode 10 or 12. So the fact that we even made it that far, but we're trudging along. We're doing great things. We're interviewing some amazing people. There's absolutely no shortage of stories and shortage of good things that our guys are doing out there. So that's what this podcast is about. And tonight is going to be a really unique series of interviews here, because those of you who are watching on YouTube, you're going to get the full glimpse of everything. You're going to be able to see the entirety of what this live stream is meant to be. But those of you who are listening on normal podcast platforms after the fact, you're not going to be hearing the entire podcast live stream tonight that is recorded tonight, mostly because there's a significant portion towards the end when I do an interview with Chris, the co-captain from Lebanon. And that interview, unfortunately, would not translate well into the podcast platform because it's mostly video. It's mostly video of him showing the destruction, and there's just not a whole lot of dialogue there. But there will be some of that would translate over. So I would recommend, for those of you who are listening to the podcast here after the fact in audio form, please get over to YouTube, search for The Heart of a Villain on the Heart of a Villain page, and check out that part of the podcast and watch it that way, because that's going to definitely be one that you do not want to miss. Again, this is episode 43, and our first guest that we're going to talk about here in just a few minutes is Sergey from the Bearded Villains of Belarus. And as I already teased, I've also got an interview with Chris, the co-captain of the Bearded Villains Lebanon. And this is just a great international flair podcast. So I'm really excited about this one too. We've got two different great guys from different parts of the world. And it's just going to be a good one for us, guys. So I want to acknowledge a few people. First off, those of you who are on the live stream right now watching. Like I said, I do this all the time because I'm really appreciative that people are taking time out of your Friday night to hang out with me for a little bit. So Rob, I appreciate you. Chris is here. And if you have any idea, time change wise, Chris is tuning in from Lebanon, and it is 8 hours from now. It's like 3:30 in the morning or something like that there. So crazy stuff, guys. Super crazy. But yeah, I can't even begin. he's staying up for us. I appreciate that. There's no two ways about it. So, yeah. Let's see who else we had here. Rob's in the house. Kevin's in the house. Mr. Joker. I thought I saw Lou in here too. That was great to see. If I'm missing anybody, I'll try and locate you here a little bit later. All right. So, guys, thank you again for being here. It means a lot to me. And, yeah, this is going to be a good one, guys. It's going to be a good one. I want to give you a couple of real quick updates. And the first thing that I want to talk about real quick is just give you a quick update on the shirts. The new shirts are going to be coming in the next couple of weeks, and I'll be putting the new shirts up for sale for pre-order. I wanted to have something in hand to show you first, not just a fancy picture. So that's going to be up soon, and probably the fancy poker chips that I talked about before. Got one here in my hot little hand now. Those will be out, available for purchase also in the next week or so. So excited about that. All right. So I'm going to get right in here. And, man, what can I say about Sergey? This is a dude who is he's a member of the chapter in Belarus, but it's by way of Philadelphia. Or I'm sorry, Philadelphia. I say, yeah, Philly, but by way of Pennsylvania. And it's interesting because he originated his BV journey with the Bearded Villains of Pennsylvania, and then ended up moving over to the Bearded Villains Belarus. He's actually from Belarus, and that's where he was born, and came to the States later in his life. So he's got a very interesting story. One of the unique things that I love about talking to people from all over the world is hearing different people's experiences, both within the Bearded Villains, but also just culturally in life. And we get into this is the interview with Sergey's not specifically about the Bearded Villains. It's we get into a little bit of just kind of a get to know him and get to know cultural differences a little bit, and some of because he has traveled the world and he loves traveling the world for things. So, if you go out to his Instagram, you'll see that. But this interview with Sergey is interesting because we talk a little bit about some of the cultural differences, both between the United States and Europe, but also in Belarus, where he's from. And I get into a little bit of what the differences might be with regard to charity aspects and what they can do there. Because as he points out, Belarus is not a rich country. So we get into a little bit of that, but I'm hoping that I can continue the interview. This is more specific to Sergey in this one. And as I told him later, I'm hoping that we can get back together and have a great conversation about what the actual chapter, the Bearded Villains of Belarus, are doing once the COVID pandemic passes and everybody's able to get back to their good works that they want to do. So I'm going to go ahead and play for you my interview that I had with Bearded Villains Belarus brother, Sergey, and we'll get right to him. My guest today comes from a long way away, but not right now. This is Sergey from the Bearded Villains Belarus chapter, but he is now in Philadelphia. We're going to get into that in just a minute. But help me welcome a great guy from the Bearded Villains of Belarus. Sergey, how are you doing today, buddy?
Hi, good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. We've been trying to get together for a while. Your work schedule is kind of crazy.
Yeah, I work in like 6.5 days in a week, and just have like maybe Sunday. Sunday is my day off.
So we're lucky to catch you here on a Saturday. That's great. So tell me a little bit, if you can, for anybody that does not know you, knows that if you look at your Instagram profile, we see that you are a Bearded Villains member from Belarus, and obviously you sound like you're from Belarus, but you also have a connection in Philadelphia. Can you tell us a little bit about how you started in Bearded Villains and what that connection is between the Philadelphia area, Pennsylvania, and Belarus?
Okay, it was happened like early 2017. Obviously, my first contact was with Nick from Bearded Villains Belarus. He just started his Belarus chapter. But anyway, I was here, he's there, and then I contact with captain of. I found only one chapter. It was Bearded Villains Pennsylvania. I contacted with them, and yes, first my patch I got from Bearded Villains Pennsylvania. It was villain patch, and that's where I started my journey.
So you started with Bearded Villains. Now, did you grow up in Belarus and then just happen to be here in the States, or how did that happen?
I contacted with Nick. With like Nick Nick is a captain of Bearded Villains Belarus. He just started Belarus chapter.
Okay.
In 2017, and just we was like in touch, and yeah, after like 1 year, I really helped from here, from United States to Bearded Villains Belarus, because it's hard to Belarus is like very difficult country, and it's hard to send to their like official merchandise.
Okay.
And I helped. I always was like buys like, I don't know, it's like big bag, large bag, and with me to Belarus with all patches, all merchandise, like T-shirts, everything, snapbacks to Belarus.
Okay. So did you actually grow up then in Belarus?
Together. I can say it's like grew up here or there. It just was like parallel.
Oh, okay.
Just am here and there.
All right.
Because I have contact. I have some contacts here and there. Grew up all together.
Awesome. So then, but you were born in Belarus, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then when did you first come to the States?
It was 2008, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and then since 2008, you've been kind of back and forth, and.
Yeah, I just traveled between countries.
Wow.
Of course, Europe. I'm really like Europe. So, sorry.
No. I totally understand. I will say this.
Here in US, I'm really like US history, but Europe a little bit longer history.
Europe has a lot longer history. Yeah. And Europe has a lot more interesting buildings too.
Yeah.
So, when I look at your Instagram and I see all the different pictures, man, you've been all over the world. It looks like, just some amazing travels. Can you tell me, like, I mean, what is it like to be able to have that freedom to just travel anywhere you want to, because you've been all over?
It's not real freedom, but yes, I can travel where I want, and I've been everywhere except maybe Australia. I need to connect with Circle. And yeah, all people different. Every place is different. I like some cities from Canada. I like Europe. Of course, United States. It just, I don't know. It's like going to, I don't know. Just sit on plane and just follow.
What's your favorite country you've been to?
You just sit here is like 6 p.m. and in Europe you're like 5 a.m. on next day.
Yeah, absolutely. If you were to think about your favorite, what's your favorite country that you've traveled to?
I can say China is like different experience.
Wow.
But I think maybe Germany. But Germany was when I lived in Belarus. I traveled from Belarus, not from United States.
Okay.
Like, Germany was my really like first country. Like, it's amazing. It just something broke in my mind, because when I walk on the streets and drink beer, And of course, history.
Yeah.
It was history and beer.
History and beer. Germany's well known for both of those. It's really good. So you have been a part of Bearded Villains in Pennsylvania, and you've now been with Bearded Villains in Belarus. You have a unique perspective because of that. What can you think of any big differences between what it's like being a part of Bearded Villains in the United States versus what Bearded Villains is like in Europe?
Bearded Villains in the United States is more conservative. Yes. It's the first thing what I see.
Yeah.
Because Bearded Villains, I can say about whole Europe. Example, Bearded Villains here, it's the same maybe ages between 25, 35, because average like ages in Bearded Villains Belarus is the same thing as like 28, 30.
Okay.
But here is like more conservative people.
How do you mean?
I don't know how to explain it, but he is not maybe sometimes more closed people before they open for you. In Europe is more open people.
Yeah, I see that.
Maybe this way.
I can see that. Yeah. Yeah. I think the people in the United States seem to be more opinionated.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know, just when you see like European people, it's always open. It just okay. I mean, here's like two. It's like everybody smiles. Everybody's like asking you how you doing and everything. Things just shake your hand and everything great. But before they like open own space for you, it's need time. In Europe, it's a little bit different.
Okay. Yeah. I read an article by somebody who was a world traveler once, and I wanted to ask you about this because it kind of goes into what we're talking about here. And he indicated that among the other things, kind of what you're talking about, the differences between people in Europe and the people in the States are that the people in the States are very quick to say, like you said, say hi and check in with you. And that was different for him because he wasn't used to that. But like you said, people in Europe are much more accommodating for just letting you be a part of their life much quicker. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Yeah. So sometimes it's like, he's like not a lot of places where it's like tourist. It's like more is like large cities. In Europe, same thing is like, and when Europeans see somebody is like tourist, especially it's like small village or small town somewhere, they're always open because they always are open for everybody.
Yeah. Much more accommodating.
But in United States, if somebody like see some kind of people who is not from own community, they say hi, everything, but they will.
Yeah. You may not belong there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand. There's,
I think it's main difference between like Europe and United States.
yeah.
But anyway, United States, is great country, and all people is friendly. It just
One of the things that as I love to look through some of our Bearded Villain members, their pictures from Europe, because the guys that are from Europe seem to take a lot cooler pictures for the most part, or other countries than the States, because you do a lot of really neat location shots. You get dressed up a lot more often. Do you like to do that kind of stuff?
Because European, I think, is not more about style, but more about photographer.
Yeah.
You know, who takes pictures, not about how you dress or something, but he has like same things, like a lot great locations to take pictures, and you can dress everything, but photographers different.
Yeah.
People look how to take pictures like different way.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. And we don't have castles over here.
I think it's like Belarus chapter pictures when it's official pictures. It's very cool because photographer know what we want. Not only he wants, but we want, and he do his job.
Yeah, there's, it's funny here in the States. Sometimes when guys do these photo shoots, seems like a lot of times they'll just they'll photograph themselves. They don't hire a professional photographer. A lot of times they'll just get somebody with a nice camera and say, we're going to have you do it. And you can tell a difference between the professional photographer and somebody that's just kind of learning a little bit.
No, he is too is like great photographers, but anyway.
Yeah.
Well, for Pennsylvania, I know it's like she's a great.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. So, since you've been a part of being able to see the bearded villains in both areas of the world, can you talk a little bit about what types of, and this is something I know that you can't really do right now with the COVID pandemic going on, but what types of, is your chapter really active in charity types of aspects and things like that you do? Or is your chapter one of the ones that's, that does a little bit less of that over there? Cause I know that it depends on where you are, how active some of those chapters can be, because there's guidelines I know in some countries that you have to follow just to be able to take part in some charity stuff.
Our chapter is really active, but we are limited in our help. Our chapter really help to animal shelters because it's not really easy, but we can do it every time, and there are no rules. Just if they ask us to help build something, clean something, rebuild, repair, we always say yes, because we can do that. Sometimes, I don't know, I'm really never think about in US about this, whereas like kids without parents. It's like houses, it's like big like kids' houses. And sometimes we help them. We're asking what they need, and we're trying to buy exactly. I remember for New Year, here's like most important Christmas, but there's like more important like New Year, because Christmas is more religion.
Right.
And we try from the list is like buy everything what kids want, if we can, because we're really limited, because it's not rich country. I mean, average salary between $500-$700. It's not really much, and when you pay is like for your just for rent like 200 and other expenses and everything, food, and just it's not a lot of money. But anyway, guys, trying buy everything what kids want.
That's good. That's good. I like to hear stories like that where it's not about making money. It's about taking part, like you said, helping out with the shelters. And
Yes,
that's the most important stuff.
because sometimes if they ask just help to repair, yeah, we just taking tools and gone.
Yeah. Yeah. And it means more. It means more than just giving money.
If we can like buy bag or something like of pets food, yeah, of course,
Yeah.
because it's not really a lot of money, but we can buy it like, I don't know. We try.
Yeah.
We help.
I understand. I understand. So, last thing I want to ask you about a little bit is because like, again, I'm going to go back to this again, because you have seen two different sides of things. And the little differences between bearded villains here in the States and over in Belarus and Europe. What has been your favorite part about being a part of the bearded villains so far? What is just something that really makes you really excited or happy about the bearded villains?
Because it's real brotherhood. It's the first place. It's real brotherhood. If you ask help, everybody ready to help you with any problems.
Yeah.
Of course, charity is important, but charity is like, anyway, stay something of side of us. First, we meet. First, we just we contacting between each other. Of course, charity important part, but it's not every day. Every day is like we contacting each other.
Yeah.
It's a brotherhood when we can help to each other. Anyway, how it goes.
Yeah. I like that.
Like talking or something or physical or I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great answer. That's a great answer. I love it. Sergey, I appreciate you so much for taking some time with me today. When you get back over there, give your brothers a hug. And we are thinking about our brothers worldwide right now, making sure that everybody's safe. So when you do get a chance to get back over there, tell everybody that the guys in the States are saying hi and thinking about you guys.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Take care. Be safe, man.
You too.
All
Thanks.
Right. Bye. And that was Sergey. Yeah, you could probably notice there's a few times there where the sync was a little bit off as far as we were talking over a little bit each other. For some reason, the signal, traditional with Skype sometimes, that's the way that goes. But unfortunately, we weren't able to talk a whole lot about the chapter. I liked at the end there where he talks a little bit about brotherhood and how important that is, because definitely it is. And it's, he's had some different life experiences being from Belarus, coming to the States and whatnot. So, but an interesting conversation nonetheless. And I'm hoping to be able to talk to him again here in the future about some other stuff once everything gets done, for sure, as far as the pandemic goes. And love to sit and chat with him and have a beer in person. Guys, if you are looking for an all-natural beard oil that will not only tame your beard and your coarse hairs, but will make your beard smell amazing and feel soft, check out Pulpo Beard Oils. Veteran-owned and made for today's beards, Pulpo Beard products combine the best beard ingredients on the market with incredible customer care and customer service to ensure your happiness. Whether you need beard wash, beard oil, beard balm, or some fun clothing, Pulpo is the place to go. Feel fresh, feel savage, feel confident with Pulpo Beard Oils. Go to Pulpo Beard Oils, that's Pulpo beardoils.com. Use the code The Heart of a Villain for a discount on your order. All right, guys. Real quick, I do want to mention there has been I have mentioned in some capacities in the past a little bit about the upcoming charity patch that is the podcast is partnering with the Bearded Villains of Central England on. And I wanted just to mention, because I put it out today in a couple of actually the patch chats that are out there, who the two patches, as I've said before, the patches are a charity patch set limited to 100. And if you didn't already know, these are 5-inch patches. So each patch is 5 inches in size. And I just wanted to read real quick, just a quick blurb about who the two organizations are that the money will be going to for the suicide awareness and prevention patches. So here in the States, our half of the funds are going to go toward Face It Foundation. And Face It works to help men understand and overcome depression and reduce the rate of male suicide. And then for the UK, for the England version of the Central England version of this, it's going to the Lions Barber Collective, which is an international collection of top barbers which have come together to help raise awareness for suicide prevention. And that was specifically requested by people close to Darren, who was kind of the impetus of the whole idea of it's okay not to be okay that I've been saying at the end of every podcast since his passing last September. So I did want to quickly mention that for you guys just to do it. Teases will come out hopefully in the next week or two. I can show full-on images of the patches, but we're trying to work that out slowly. So, but I'm excited to be able to share that stuff with you. It's going to have a limited, they are numbered patches sold as a set, and they will have a patch card with them indicating your number and everything. So we are going to have that stuff out there. Now, I want to get into what happened in Lebanon back on August 4th, I believe it was, a few days ago. As everybody knows, there was I think everybody by now knows, there was a huge explosion that occurred near the docks, or I don't know the harbor in Lebanon, in Beirut. And our brothers were very lucky. We had some of our Bearded Villains Beirut, or Bearded Villains Lebanon chapter members in Beirut at the time of the explosion. And some had some very serious damage. One brother got hit by glass. Another brother's building was damaged. So I know here in the States we don't see a whole lot of exactly some of the still images and things. So I reached out and got a hold of Chris, the co-captain from the Bearded Villains from the Bearded Villains Lebanon chapter. And what you're going to see here coming up is absolutely amazing, and not in a great way. Just the sheer force of what you're going to find in some of these images. This is the first image that he sent to me. I'm going to show this real quick. This was his office. This is where he was at the time of the blast, of the explosion that happened. And one of the things you'll notice in these images is that as he shows you, and he's going to take us through a walk through the city area, you're going to notice extreme amounts of damage, but what you won't see are burn marks or things like that, because as a typical fire-driven explosion would do, you'd see a lot more damage from that. But this was simply, it seems like shockwave damage, and how amazing that damage can be, and just traumatic to buildings, structures, people. And he goes over, I think, as of our conversation earlier this morning, he talked about there were pushing up on 150 some people that have been confirmed deceased from this incident, and just thousands more. So thousands more injured. But initial reports were just a few dozen, and it's come up just in the last few days as recovery efforts are going on, that a lot more people were killed from this than they originally thought. So I want to go ahead and play this for you now. Now this, stay tuned, because this is just absolutely incredible. This is firsthand footage. This is like news reporter stuff here, guys. This is, you're going to be given a tour of some amazing footage of what's going on in Beirut right now from my brother Chris. So I want to share this with you guys, and got him going right here.
Is the voice
I
okay
have a
for
very
you,
special
Brian?
guest with me today. It's Chris from the Bearded Villains of Lebanon. And anybody who has been paying any attention lately knows that they had a very bad explosion. It's a traumatic thing and a really bad explosion that occurred in Beirut just a few days ago. So one of our brothers, several of our brothers are affected by this. And one of our brothers is here to talk to us about it and show us a little bit about what's going on over there. So Chris, how you doing, buddy?
Hello, brother. Hello, everyone. Uh, well, we're trying to stay strong. And today we are now at one of our brothers who got affected from this disaster, from this explosion. We are here actually to see what we're gonna do because we need to do the cleanings, we need to do the support for our brother. We need to stand next to him. It's a difficult time now. We're still under this disaster, and we didn't came up. What's the things that we're gonna do? The cleanups began, but there are more than that. There are more effective things affected all over Beirut area. And where we are now is in a place, it's near to Beirut, like about 2 miles from the explosion part. This place where I'm standing now here. Thanks God it didn't go more other than stuff over here. And our brother weren't here at the time where the explosion happened. So this place actually ruined everything. His shop, his bar, his pub here in Jemaise, in Beirut area. So we can take you over just to see a very quick look of what happened here, and I can go a bit outside the pub so that can our brother see a general look about what the things happened and our action as Bearded Villain Lebanon. What will you gonna do?
Yeah. Chris, you said he's about 2 miles away from where the explosion occurred?
Yes, because it's behind me.
Okay.
And the explosion happened behind me.
So there's a lot of damage that occurred 2 miles away. How far out did the explosion damage buildings?
Actually, it damages for about 15 kilometers from the center of the explosion. It's like it did a circle, or the level 1 part, it's in Beirut, and the suburbs of Beirut, actually. So the damages went there, but the more effective is the ones in Beirut next to the explosion area, and where I'm now.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
So it's a big explosion. It's not that easy. Actually, I'm in a street now. It's now calming because the youth across Lebanon came and made the cleanings. And we, as Bearded Villains, we're going to go and do our assessment to see what's the things we can support. And first, we're going to support our brother here in his shop to see what things that is needed to came back again.
Yeah. So show us around the building a little bit.
Okay, so I'm now here. Just a moment to flip the camera.
Okay.
Okay. This is his place inside. Sorry, there is no light. This is his place. He tried to open it to do the renovation before the explosion. So he made everything and he did everything. So there it was closed. There and there also. There were doors over here and get exploded.
Wow.
Everything. And this is the main door. I'm gonna show you from outside. So little bit of glass.
Be careful.
Yeah. So this is his shop.
Wow.
And those are the areas that are affected. This is Jemaise Street. Sorry, I'm on the light.
That's fine.
And those are the buildings. No, those buildings are not anymore preferable to live in.
Wow. So they're not even supposed to be lived in right now because they're so damaged.
Yeah. and those areas like that. I don't, because I'm in Contre-Jour, but I'm gonna try to take as much as I can. Now they are clean. And there is a building there we cannot pass by because it's gonna fall. So
Holy
our
cow.
police are standing there so that. And I'm gonna show you one thing is that there is the Red Cross over here, Red Cross station. It also got affected.
So your local Red Cross is damaged as well, and kind of,
Red Cross, yes.
so that will affect their ability to even help out as much as they want to.
Yes. So this is the center for the Red Cross, also got affected.
Look at that.
And look at the buildings. It's kind of renovated buildings also all exploded down. I'm showing you parts of the area here. So it's not, so cleanings are still going on. This is part.
Wow.
There was a shop over here. And look at this building.
Wow. And you are, and where you're standing, you're still about 2 miles away from where this explosion occurred.
Yeah, the explosion is from there. If you can stay with me, I can take you there.
Oh, sure. As long as your signal stays on, we'll stay with you.
Yeah. So those are the buildings that got affected as well. Actually, John, Brian, what I'm gonna say is that it's a place, it's a mix of people living here, shops, restaurants, bars, and everything. It's a mix.
Incredible.
So yes, this is a gas station. I'm nearby. I try to show you as much as possible because I'm near to the place of explosion.
Yes.
So it's there.
Thank you.
So this is Shar Hallo Bridge. عمرو في اطلع لعندك. Okay, I'm gonna show you directly from a bar where I used to come and have fun, and I'm gonna show you how things are destroyed. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm in the oldest building in Beirut. I'm gonna try to take careful just to go inside because the floor is not good.
Yeah, please be careful. This is amazing footage. This is incredible.
So this is an old, if you see from the elevator, it used to be an oldest building. So the building is a bit moving. So if you see here.
Wow.
So this place we used to come and have our fun here. And no more. I'm gonna take footage, right? Footage. So this place is called Madame Om. Madame Om is a place where people come and have a lot of fun here and dancing and singing. Okay?
Uh-huh.
So I'm gonna show you where the explosion happened. Look, there is no wall and there is no balcony. The balcony fell down.
That's incredible. Be careful.
Yeah, don't worry. So this is Shar Hallo Bridge. And this is where the explosion. Do you see
Right.
the weeds there?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is where the explosion happened.
Incredible.
You're seeing, Brian, you're seeing good?
Yes.
Yeah, so, sorry. So this is the, where people used to every day like this time, are people on this bridge. Imagine how much people were on there the time of the disaster.
Right.
Okay, and this is, you see,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and this is where the buildings right there. This is where the explosion is for the wheat, and next to it was the part of the explosion.
Absolutely incredible. The amount of damage that's, I mean, it's
We used
unthinkable.
There is a balcony over here, but no more balcony. It's all opened over.
Jeez.
Cheers, brothers.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm gonna go from behind the bar. Yeah, حبيبي.
So let me ask you a question while you're walking, being careful, of course. Where,
Yes,
as
this is the,
that's amazing.
yes.
Now, how far away? I know you said you were at work in your office. You're a photojournalist, so it's actually kind of nice that you, as somebody who does this for a living, is sharing this information with me. But how far away was your office from the explosion?
It was 14 kilometers.
Wow. Okay,
Yes,
that's
I should tell you,
incredible.
because there are a lot of places. The explosion. I'm gonna show you what had happened. The explosion went from there, okay, with a cloud,
Right.
the orange, okay. So it blew there, those places there.
Uh-huh.
You see it beyond. Where do you see the last building?
Right.
And all over there, it's a surrounding, you know.
Right. Wow.
Yes.
Did you
And
were you able to see did you even know that the fire was going on at the time, or did you just hear an explosion? How did that happen with you?
okay, what happened is that it started with an earthquake, like a shocking. The building where I used to be, where I was in, it started shocking. So I thought it was an earthquake at first, and then I saw the windows that are blowing, and then I noticed that it's not an earthquake thing. It's an explosion thing.
Right.
Because on a security basis, I've been trained that when seeing such things, it's a wave of an explosion. So I directly ran from the place where I was standing, and I showed you the picture,
Mm-hmm.
and it directly hit it on the ground. So if I took the initiative and go under the table, then the glass would go over me. So it's a matter of seconds that happened. Yeah.
Wow.
Yes. So yeah, this is I'm gonna show you the final thing before I go down, is that I'm gonna focus is that this is every day people will go over here by their cars, and the time where the explosion happened, there were many cars over here. Okay, so now a lot of crowded people, they're coming to check and see the things. But yes, this is what's have been things.
Wow. So what?
So
Go ahead.
no more pop to have fun in this place.
Are most
At least having fun with smallest things.
places going to be able to rebuild?
Like this one where I am now, no, because I'm gonna show you the floor. I'm on the street right now, directly. This is the floor. I'm gonna show you. Go inside. Oh, okay. Okay. You see here? Oh, no. Yeah. I'm gonna go the other side. Afwan. Okay, the floor is down, so we cannot stand.
Wow.
The people here look. If you see, it's down.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Yes, this is one of the most affected place and directly to the port that affected these old houses and buildings here. Okay, so yes, if you see final one, this explosion did not burn. It only made a wind and blown. So nothing burned. Only it's an explosion that have a blowing thing.
The big shock wave.
Yeah, because the ammonia turned into water and did that cloud, and it exploded all over. So the waves shocked everything because it was very, very, very tons that exploded. Yes.
So what are they telling you locally in Lebanon, in that area? What are they telling you, the citizens there, about what happened? What's the news agencies, or what are they telling you guys that happened there?
Okay. At first, it was two scenarios. The scenario that maybe it was a missile that went through this and exploded. And the second scenario, which is based on right now, and it is most common use, is that the ammonia, the tons of ammonia that were in that can over there, it exploded, but it cannot explode without giving any fire to it. So they are still under investigation, our country, to see what made this ammonia burn and explode. So there are a lot of governmental investigations on what was the cause of this explosion. So still not, they promised that on the 5th day will give the result, and they will knew what was the cause of this explosion. So they're doing their investigation about it. Yes.
Okay. So was the building that this occurred in, was the building just a storage facility, or was it a factory?
Well, actually, it's the port, the main port, and it was a storage. This storage, it's like a hangar that they put this ammonia in it, and there are a story about this ammonia. Still, they are investigating why these stones have been there since 2014, and knowing that they cannot be stored, and it's a cause for an explosion.
Right.
So they're still under investigation about it. As well, next to it, there is a wheat building factory to the country. So they are facing together each other. So that's why when the ammonia building exploded, it disappeared into the water. So one scenario that happened, if it was on the land, then half of Beirut areas would have vanished from the living. But since it is now in the water, next to the water, and the water absorbed this storage, then this effect is less. So imagine this effect is less, and look what happened.
Right.
So imagine if it's on the main ground. Knowing that it's a place, there are a lot. I'm going to show you. This one is a restaurant. The ones there are companies, Electricité de Liban, the Lebanese electricity there, the company, a Mercedes company over there also affected. Everything has been affected. There are companies as well. There's not only houses. Houses is from this behind and above. Imagine the tallest building, it was also affected. All those buildings affected under 15 kilometers.
Wow. Now, we're also hearing some reports. I know here in the States, we're hearing some reports that there were fireworks there as well, or fireworks involved in the building or stored there. Was that also true?
Well, actually, it's not only a firework. There is a lot of things that causes this fire to damage because it's in the port. You have a lot of materials inside the port.
Okay.
So that causes this to burn out. So it started with the ammonia to burn out, and it caused the fireworks to be burnt like sparklings.
Right.
And then the main thing, and when the ammonia turned into water, it exploded.
Right. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna show you from this part the buildings. This was a restaurant, and 2 dead people were in it. 2 died in this restaurant.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a very well-known Lebanese restaurant, Loris named. Yeah.
It literally looks like a bomb went off.
Yes, bro. It is like that, but it's with a lot of tones. Normal bomb can't do that. It's in like the second they classified this explosion as the third country for this explosion, the biggest explosion after Hiroshima.
Right. Yeah. I mean, you see explosions when they occur from bombs, and there's like you said, there's much more fire that comes out and expands out. So thank God there wasn't that. But it's amazing how much damage was caused simply from the shock wave, and it's just amazing.
So people died because of the glasses fall over them. A lot of things fell over them, like the walls and everything. This is what, and because of the shock wave that caused them to pull back. So yes. So people that were here at this time of the explosion, actually they come to eat. Some of them finishes their work. Some of them coming to their houses. So it's all affected.
What time of the day did the explosion happen there?
It was 6:05 p.m.
Oh wow.
Because the explosion went into 2 parts. The first part, it was at 6 and 4 p.m. And the second explosion, 6 and 5 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing. And that's the time when people are milling about, going for dinner and going home from work.
Yeah, and I showed you from the upper side the cars that passing through this bridge. Either they are going out to their home, to their houses, because they use this main bridge, Charles Hello Bridge, to go to their houses in the next areas in Lebanon. So yes, a lot of people were affected. A lot of people, imagine, people died. People they were flying because of the biggest explosion, and that's why some people are missed and they are finding them in water.
Oh goodness. Wow.
Yes.
Oh man.
Just for my safety, I'm gonna go out of this building.
Yes, please.
Because even though it's still holding on, but we don't know at what time or anything that might cause to happen to fall down.
So they're not going to be able to save that building. That's the oldest building there, right?
No, exactly. Yes. So yes, like I'm gonna show you behind this building. So yes. So in this place, Brian, as I told you, this one fell over someone and 2 people died there.
Wow. I'm speechless. I don't even know. You've seen a
Yeah.
lot of things. You've seen a lot of things as a photojournalist. Have you ever seen anything like this?
Well, actually, I was born since 1985, since the war happened in Lebanon. And Beirut, it's similar to that, but not like that. It is more than that. Now, more than that. Beirut is more than that. So, yes. But the good thing is that we're still survivors, maybe to help in cleaning, to help people. And today it was reported 145 deaths. I'm gonna give you an accurate answer about it. Just a second. To give you the accurate number, 152.
Wow. 152 fatalities right now.
Yes. 152 deaths. 5,000 people were injured, and there are a lot of people that are still missing. So I'm gonna turn the camera, Brian,
Yes.
because I want to go to our brother's shop to feed. If you want to have a talk with him to explain for you what things have been damaged exactly at his shop. And in the meanwhile, while walking there, I'm gonna show you the places that got affected.
Okay.
So this one was a place, touristic place actually. This place where they sell for tickets to travel, ticketing travel agency. So look at this balcony. It's people, they were living here actually, yeah?
Can't even imagine.
They are still old but strong, but imagine during war, it did not do that.
Yeah, these are buildings, as you said, these are buildings that did not sustain this damage during the wartime in the 80s.
Yes, and it exploded. Look at the cars. Cars, they were only parking. This is what happened to this wave. And also everything fell on it as well. I'm showing you, Brian, now when some of them is cleaned. But it was a disaster on the first day and on the second day.
So while you're walking, talk to me for a minute about what are you guys, what are the Bearded Villains Lebanon? What are you guys going to be able to do to help out your community there? Because I know you said you were working on some things, and you also want to help your brother and his building out too.
Okay, so one of the main things is that after assessing on the floor, everything in the buildings are clean. Now we're gonna see to go and collect the glass and put them in boxes to do the recycling thing. Okay, to do some recycling things. There are still assessments are being done on the floor to go and give food to people who are homeless, because these are places where people used to live in. So the assessment, we're gonna take it from the government to see where people are now and what are in need exactly for medications, for food, and we're gonna do boxes and to start distributing them other than collecting the glasses all over from these places as well. Some cleanings, we're gonna do some cleanings clean up for certain places, because where I am now, it's already cleaned. But in other areas, so we're gonna go over stories to show where we're gonna be in the cleanings. And the other, and behind me, there are a lot of damages also happen. So there are other areas, upper side, that are also affected.
Wow.
Yes.
It looks like that street that you're on, it almost provided a wind tunnel for that explosion to come straight down, for the shockwave to come straight down, and that's why there's so much damage there.
Exactly, because this is, sorry for the noises. This is the second street. The where I took you, it was the first street. This is the second street. Imagine there are several streets above, and which goes in upper areas.
Right.
Yes, I will be sending you a map to see the area of explosion where it hit 15 kilometers from the center where I took you and show you the port of the explosion.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow.
So you want to talk to our brother,
Sure.
Tufir? Okay, so Tufir is our brother. His name on Instagram is the Smoking Barrels. He will talk to you about his shop that got affected, and what things actually he lost. But thank God he's still with us,
Yes.
and he didn't not hurt.
How are you,
Okay,
brother?
hi, man.
How are you?
How are you? Fine. I'm fine, thank you.
Uh,
Let me tell you first what I do. I do your American style barbecue here in Lebanon.
wow.
I do smoked food and smoked meats, and I introduced it to the Lebanese people, even though I never been to the States, and not even once. I opened this place here in Jamaica, and now we're in this situation, as you know.
Yeah.
We're trying to survive.
Were you in the shop when the explosion happened?
Thank
Okay.
God, no one was in the shop. It was closed due to the circumstances here in the Lebanon now. We were doing an event in a region in the mountains called Faraya. We took a stand there, and we were staying there for 2 months.
Oh,
For this happened, and no one was in the shop. Thank God.
thank God.
Yeah, because the damage. I don't know if Chris showed you the cars, but in front, just in front of the shop, you can see the cars how they are.
Yes. That's incredible damage.
Some buildings. Look at this one.
Oh my gosh.
The building here, all the stones fall from the building and came on top of the car, and this is just next to my shop. It was really, really incredible.
So where do you go from here now with the shop?
Hello, we're trying. 1 second. We're trying to do the assessment and the cost of. We're trying to assess the cost that we need to repair. Some principals here from Lebanon, from the government, should pass by and take pictures, and we already did like a small survey. And we're trying to proceed. First thing we're gonna do the budgeting to know how much do we need, and we're gonna rebuild. We're gonna try to rebuild it
Good.
because we're hoping we don't have to surrender. You know, here in Lebanon there's a lot of problems now, but we're willing to fight it.
Absolutely.
Yes, man.
Man, I don't even know what to say. It's just it's incredible to see how much
Overwhelming.
damage.
Yeah, and it happened like in a second, and no one was expecting anything of this. On top of all our problems in the past 8 months or 9 months now, this happened. I don't know what to say either.
Well, I'm so happy that none of you guys were severely injured. Obviously,
Thank God, man.
Yeah, and I hate to say it. I mean, but I guess it sounds weird to say, but I'm proud that that we have bearded villains there in Lebanon that can actually help out and can do, you know, what bearded villains do, especially in times of big traumatic issues like you've had over there. But you know, I hate to see that your building was damaged, and but it's property, and you can move on from that and still do it.
Yeah, hopefully, man. Hopefully.
Wow. I it's far worse than I thought. The damage there. It's far worse. We're only seeing small images here in the States.
I know it's extended to a big area here in Beirut. It's a very big area.
Yeah. Incredible. Well, guys, I am so happy that I was able to talk to you guys. I appreciate you guys taking some time out.
I'm very happy to have met you.
Yes.
And, thanks for all your support, man.
Absolutely. If there's anything that we can do to help you guys out, please don't hesitate to reach out. I will spread the message and tell everybody what we can do if there's things that we can do to help you guys out, for sure.
We will do that for sure.
Okay, guys. Thanks so much. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later.
Here's Chris back.
All right.
Yes.
Chris, thank you so much for the time. I appreciate it. I have so many prayers going out for you guys right now, and I know that there's a lot of us, our brothers, that are thinking of you guys.
Thank you for your time, and thank you, brothers. I want to thank all our bearded villain brothers around the world for their support, for their thoughts, for their prayers we've been receiving on our Instagram messages. For the really, really big thank you for everyone, for our president, Von Knox, for everyone in the bearded villains. Thank you, brothers.
Keep doing the stuff, man. Keep doing the good stuff and being positive. We're watching you. We're proud of you guys for what you're doing. And I look forward to being able to do an interview with you here before too long. Once this is all cleaned up, once the pandemic's done, and you guys can get back to having a good time and doing the good stuff. But for right now, I know you got to do other things. So
thank you.
All right, guys.
Thank you so much.
Take care. Be safe.
You too.
All right. Bye. Wow. As I sat here watching that again, thinking back to the sheer devastation, and just it's incredible the amount that came through, and just from that huge shockwave that we saw. And the buildings are so close together, the streets are so narrow. So even when that shockwave didn't have a straight line shot at buildings with a full front of a building, there's enough force miles out. So you can even imagine what that was like. And I'm sure everybody's by now seen videos of, inside the businesses and home cameras and things like that. I want to show you real quick. This is another photo, and how amazing is it that our brother is a photojournalist over there and doing what he would normally do. He's taking us on a tour of Beirut and showing us the damage just like it's his job, and capturing those images. The images that you saw at the very beginning there were images that he took that day or in the days since. But I want to show you this one, because having seen that video footage now, after you've seen him walk us through and take us to that the one business that's the bar where they would hang out, and he was on the upper story looking down where the balcony had been destroyed. There was no wall there. I want to show you the other side of that building where we were. So looking up at where he was looking down from, because this image right here will show you just about what you need to see to get the whole devastation of that building and where he just was. But this is the building, and that second story where there is no wall, that's where he was just standing a few minutes ago in that interview, showing us looking out over this highway here. That is devastation and just a shockwave, guys. There's no fire, no flame explosion part of it. That's just sheer from the shockwave. So we need to definitely keep those guys in our thoughts and prayers. the families of all the people that were lost in that terrible accident as well. But they've got a lot of cleaning up to do over there for sure, and they need our thoughts and prayers for sure. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump right into the calendar of events for this month, or I'm sorry, for this episode, for episode 43. We've got a few things coming around very soon. August 14th through the 16th, the Bearded Villains Idaho have their second annual flag shoot. It's at downtown Idaho Falls. Now, if you're not familiar with this, I've said before, they actually make their flag shoot a big event for people to come out and brothers to come out and hang. So August 14th through the 16th, Bearded Villains Idaho have their second annual flag shoot at downtown Idaho Falls. Hit those guys up if you want to attend. August 22nd, the Bearded Villains Welsh chapter has the summer barbecue at Porthcurry Park Road in Barrie at 12 p.m. The Summer Barbecue, Porthcurry Park. That's the Bearded Villains Welsh chapter, August 22nd. September 11th through the 13th is the Four Corners Meet in Cortez, Colorado. The Four Corners Meet is only brothers. So no kids, no extra family members, just for brothers to hang out and have some brother time. September 11th through the 13th, Four Corners Meet in Cortez, Colorado. Moving on to September 25th to the 27th, the Bearded Villains Missouri Valley has their second anniversary with a beard competition with vendors, door prizes. There's going to be a meet and greet at the Last Hotel's rooftop, 1501 Washington Avenue in St. Louis, and the beard comp is from 1 to 5 at Four Hands Brewing Company, 1220 South 8th Street in St. Louis. There's also a farewell brunch that's to be announced later. The September 25th through the 27th for the Bearded Villains Missouri Valley second anniversary beard comp. Then October 3rd, the Battle of the Beards 2020 takes place. October 3rd, Battle of the Beards 2020. It benefits the Gresham House and is hosted by the Bearded Villains of Southern Indiana. It will be at the American Legion Post number 44 at 711 State Street in Newburgh, Indiana. Again, October 3rd for Battle of the Beards. Then October 16th and 17th is the 4th Florida Summit. The 4th Florida Summit at Pensacola Beach, Florida. I'm going to be there. I'm going to be at the other ones too, but that one sounds really fun because there's a beach involved. There's going to be a Friday night meet and greet. Saturday morning, there's going to be a beach cleanup. And then Saturday evening is the FHL beard competition. That's the 4th Florida Summit, October 16th and 17th. And then also October 24th, my chapter, the Bearded Villains of Indiana, will be celebrating their 5th anniversary in Indianapolis, Indiana. The details forthcoming. Hit up the Bearded Villains of Indiana, BVIN, for further details. October 24th for the 5th anniversary. All right, guys. It is that time. It is that time. I want to thank my guests today, Sergey and Chris, and well wishes obviously going out to everybody in Lebanon. That'll wrap up episode 43 of The Heart of a Villain. Remember, you can still buy shirts, patches, pins at theheartofavillain.simplecast.com. I want to challenge all of you to be the villain the world needs you to be, because the heart of a villain never stops beating. And finally, guys, as I always say, remember, it's okay not to be okay. If you are hurting, please find a brother to talk to. Remember, it's okay not to be okay. So for now, have a great weekend, everybody. Enjoy the week ahead. Take care and stay safe.
From my chapter to yours, we're all one, no borders. Don't get it twisted like contortionists in close quarters. My crew has more heads than peeps cleaning up on borders. When Blah, Jelly, and I, we come together, transformers. So when we meet up, handshakes, brews, and salutes. Every brother is different, fingerprints and attributes.